All right, let's go. So we have the replay here. I am playing Slardar, of course, and this is the Immortal game that we're going to do a read on. Now, this replay is primarily going to be cut up in, I'd say, the most interesting aspects of the game, and I'm primarily going to go over the idea of playing Slardar and pretty much how to spin an offlane game in this particular replay. And the reason why this is important is because this isn't Pro Dota, this is Pub Dota, and it's different from Pro Dota by a lot. And this is Immortal bracket, low level Immortal. So if you are around that area or if you're below it, the idea is that you can hopefully gain a lot from this as we go through it. We shall see. So we can already start with one thing here. And this is, regardless, I'm going to cover not just offlane, but general things. One thing you want to do in every game you play, if you want to win, of course, is leave the base early. That matters because we're smoked. This was my support doing this. Pukna is my 4. I am Slardar position 3. Good boy Pukna for the rest of the game, by the way. Our carry, as true as tradition is AFK in base. And this is very normal. And a lot of people in ranked, this is ranked, will actually AFK from the start of the game. Not good. Because one of the best things you can do at the start of the game is to contest runes, especially if you have a lineup that's extremely good at doing so, which we do. Slardar is actually one of the best offlaners for getting first bloods at rune. He can skill either Rash of the Deep or Slithering Crush. I would prefer the Crush if you asked me. And you want to make use out of it. And this is something that's going to happen in all your games. People are going to AFK from the start of the game, and it's never ideal. So we are out here. I have the supports, which are good. And you can see if we're going to be looking around. And usually, you won't be hearing this during the replay because this is captured after the fact. But usually I talk a lot as an offlaner. I try to instruct people on how I'm going to go, how they should move around, what I'm doing, etc., like whenever I go in. Especially so things like this. It's why they're following me so religiously. So we do see the bear here. And I already know that nothing's going to happen here because like Laundry would be insane to reveal himself here. Now they do want to contest us a little bit, of course, as you can see. But they got to be very, very careful because it can go very, very wrong very easily. He just moved the bear down. So Lich reveals himself, which is kind of weird, which is risky as hell. So technically speaking right there, okay, if we already rewind here, because there's a lot of mistakes, and I don't want to really blame any one person in this game because it's done. Spoiler, we win it anyway. But Luna is playing very, very AFK this entire game. He hasn't skilled anything here. If he literally skills Lunescent Beam here, pops Lich, I will get in range for Slithering Crush and we will get a first blood. But you can see he's literally AFK. He hasn't skilled anything. So I chase after them a little bit and I realize nothing's going to happen. So the normal thing to do, and what I do in most games when I play offlane, is, like I said, I will always, almost always, if I can anyway, go here or here to try and secure rune and try to get kill. Kill is obviously the main thing we want to try and accomplish if it's possible at any rate, which wasn't possible here. You then want to go to your lane as fast as you can. Now, technically, that's a TP, but TPs are pretty valuable because lanes are harsh these days, right? Like, you might die, and if that happens and you don't have a TP, that's extremely bad. So the most common thing is, for example, if we're Radiant anyway here, and we fight for the rune here, then you can just like easily slip over here and start blocking. But since I'm here, the fastest way is to either port, which we don't want to, so it's the twin gates it is. So if you find yourself in a position as an offlane or safe lane or any other role for that matter, and you quickly need to get to your lane, remember that twin gate is a very, very close option to get over here. Because you'll come immediately from here over here to the creep wave, especially when you're offlane, because this is where the wave normally will collide. So this is initially a hard lane, really. And one of the reasons that that happens is we're an offlane. It's going to be hard because, you know, which isn't ideal. So we basically have to just get ready to take a lot of damage. Now, Pukna does something cute here, but he does block this camp with his own body. Ideally, you have a sentry for it, but hey, this is fine. And while he's doing that, Warlock isn't contesting me. The worst scenario that can happen when you play offlane like this is if Troll is very aggressively just hitting you and Warlock is hitting you as well. Especially since Pukna isn't there, I would just take so much collateral damage in my health and that would be bad. Especially these early levels, you can see this is where it starts getting a bit scary here. Because now Warlock is going to try and play aggressive. I need to keep myself healthy. I see Pukna is trying to pull here, which is really good. And now, like I said, you're not going to hear me make calls. Like I have different footage of this. You're not going to hear me make direct calls because replays don't have those. But a lot of the time I am telling Pugna, you know, things we should be doing in lane. So the reason I move here is to try and discourage Warlock from stopping this pull. Sadly, he doesn't really get the best pull, but it happens, you know. So notice here how my positioning is also here. There's a reason for that. It is range creep. I really, really, really do not want Troll to deny range creeps. Now this is scary, and arguably there's a chance they even kill me here. It is entirely possible because they're both range heroes. And I'm completely out of position. I got to be extremely careful, but I really, really want this range creep. I do also get it. So thank God the Troll wasn't being more aggressive there. So this is very, very hard early for Slardar. It really is. Now, important thing comes up here. If we speed up a little bit here, you can see how I'm very, very low on tangos. And I realize that. Now, this is one of the most common mistakes I see. Everything also CS low. Don't worry, that happens a lot this game. That's one of the most common things I see in this entire meta. On all brackets, on all roles, people refuse to buy tangos and health. It's insane. I have the amount of lanes I win purely from playing offlane aggressively and the safe laner refusing to buy tangos and then going into the hot tub here. I think it's like 4 and 5. It's absolutely nuts. People refuse to do it. That's important because I wouldn't say I love doing reading. You can see I'm empty. But I realize how important it is. Especially because you can see how much damage I'm taking. And you can see we've already filled up on tangos because I had my courier deliver something here. So that's 6 tangos in total. That's more than most people in this bracket anyway kind of purchase. And you have to, because the way you should be looking at laning, in particular in this patch, again, regardless of whether or not you play offlane or safe lane, is your health is a resource to be spent. And if you are not on high enough thresholds of health, you are not in a position to get last hits or to play aggressive or anything. And then you can't play the lane and then you can't win the lane. So it's very, very damningly important that you keep yourself in high health. Now, there are obviously lanes where that's not going to be possible, but then there's no way to win them, you know, like if you can't do that. Here there is. It's called buying tangos. And even if you have to buy 9 tangos, that is an investment you'll have to do in order to win the lane. That's just how it is. Now, important note here is, you can see I'm also trying to get range creep here. Important note here is I value this extremely highly. You can even see I'm going to go book it here. And that's because we're almost at 3 minutes. I love Lotus as an offlaner. Lotus is one of my favorite things. It allows you a burst of mana, which is amazing, and it also is really good with stick because you have so much burst heal. It's exceedingly good on these strength heroes that are very meta right now. You know, Centaur, Primal Beast, Dawnbreaker, like there's a lot of strength heroes that are very meta right now. Giving them a Lotus so they have more mana for their burst spells is extremely strong. So I value it really big time. So you'll see here how I want to have these creeps not go into my tower, but I also really, really want Lotus. Now, ideally, Pugna goes here. And I've probably told him, Pugna, we need this Lotus. Because I don't really care if I get it or he gets it, just we have to get it. And I realize, oh, he's not going to get it. So I have to be here. Which is sad because I'm going to lose last hits, but that is a price I am willing to pay. Because I want Lotus that badly. But yeah, ideally, try and get Lotus, try and not lose last hits if possible, but I am willing to lose 2 last hits for Lotus, definitely. It's just so good to have in your pocket. It makes you feel extremely safe because it is, what is it? Is it 12 and a half or is it 16, 14 and a half? It's over 10 stick charges worth of burst. It's exceedingly good. You can really turn around. Like, you are so super safe. If at any point Troll tries to go on me here, which he will, spoiler, it will be very, very hard for him. It's a pretty standard lane mostly. Let's see, Warlock trying to be disruptive. Now here, we have the first interaction. And this is a common scenario when you play offlane. And it's called safe laners love playing either AFK or hyper-aggressive. Troll ends up in the hyper-aggressive camp where he seems to think he can kill a Slardar. He can't. You see this a lot with Slarks as well. They love just right-clicking you thinking, oh, I have a passive that slowly steals your stats. I'm going to win this engagement. They're not. You can kill him very easily, as we'll see here. Now see, Troll, instead of just running back here, which he should, he has the resources to survive, I can't kill him if he runs back, he's gonna decide to manfight me instead. Now, here's the thing. Remember when I talked about Lotus? Yeah, I have 13 stick charges and I have a Lotus. There is physically no actual way these people can even kill me. Even if Pugna isn't here, I could beat Troll. So this makes no sense. So when you're an offlaner, this is what you're gonna look for a lot if you can. Look for carries that are willing to take these weird decisions and try to kill you. It doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna work for him and he dies really quickly. Now I do lose last hits here, which again, it's not ideal when you play offlane, but you can see how much gold we get here. It's just magnificent, right? It's absolutely crazy. But that's what it is. Slowly applying the pressure. You see, going aggressive on Warlock as well here. And I tend to lose a lot of last hits when I play offlane. I don't really mind because most of the time it's about playing aggressive. If you can lower their health and you can take away their resources, they won't have the guts, you know, to face you anymore, which is important. It's also why you can see I go double bracer on Slardar. Now the odds of me needing tangos are very low because I just have so much regen. So I can just keep doing this. You can see they already have a really, really hard lane. And at this point, it's getting really, really scary because now we're going to harken back to what I said about tangos. Notice how there is no tangos left on Troll. Now, when you play offlane, when you play safe lane, when you play support, try and make a habit of checking your enemy's inventory. There is a very, very, very real chance that they do not buy tangos. I cannot stress this. This is an Immortal game, and he isn't buying any tangos. But unlike me, he doesn't have a double bracer, and he doesn't have a Lotus, and he has no stick charges. He just used them. Sure, he has a tango running on him right now, but he needs more. He literally needs tangos really badly, because if he doesn't get to a higher health percentage, I will punish him. And that's what you want to look out for when you play offlane. Look for this scenario where they don't really have a way to get back up to full health, because what happens if you go on them and you almost kill them, but you don't kill them? Well, they can't lane because then they'll die. And if you kill them, well, then you get a kill. So no matter what, you are favored, because no matter what, you're shutting down the safe lane carry, which is what you want to do as an offlaner when possible. And if we look here, you can see his courier's here. He hasn't bought anything. It's not en route. When I was down, no tangos here. New tangos came 3 seconds within that as my current tango was running out. You need to do that stuff immediately. And you can see how he just stands here. He's just like, this is a hard lane. Now we do a pull here, because that is the thing. As we're playing this game, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for, is he going to buy tangos or not? It's also why I'm pulling. Because by getting Troll down here, that's where he can't really be safe. He can farm up here even without tangos. I can't really kill him yet. But if I try to drag the creep wave here, he won't really have an option. There's going to be a dive here. And again, that's because I am so far ahead as I am. And I've acknowledged that I don't see Troll here anymore. Remember, he doesn't have any regen. So he's not very safe if he goes in. So most people default to farming the hot tub, as I call it here. It's the hot tub. That means Warlock is solo. That also means Warlock is going to die, because Warlock cannot possibly show himself against a Slardar. So sure enough, true to form, he goes on me here, and I think that's weird. You have no reason to do that, because there's no trolls to back you up. That's not going to work. So he is basically just going to die. Now you could say, Troll could come here. No problem. If Troll comes here, we still have stick charges and we still have Lotus, we will turn on him. I am not afraid of Troll. We will go out of tower range and then we will beat him down. We probably will not kill him, but then he will be at 10 or 15% health, and then he can't even farm jungle anymore. He will get, is it 4 health? Actually, it's 7 health regen up here, but he's going to have a hard time. Playing this aggressive is also good because, never mind the fact that you might lose last hits or whatever, people also need to think about the mental damage, I guess we should call it. The mental damage done by this. This is not fun for a support. There is nothing more heinous than playing 5 and then the offlaner just kills you and you can't really be on lane. It sucks. And your carry can't do anything or won't do anything. It just isn't a good time for you. We are slowly eating into their psyche by playing like that. It feels awful. And you can see, what does Warlock do? He's like, well, screw that. I'm not going to go on that. It's not going to happen. So now the lane is won. 6 minutes, the lane's over. And I know that because Troll isn't here. That means he could only really be somewhere else, which is jungle, and it makes the most sense he's up here, which he is. And he does get that 7 HP. So he'll be fine. And he will also recover this game completely. And we're pretty much just going to like sit and mostly AFK farm from here. There's really not going to be anything too interesting here. I do this a lot as well. It's also really good to do with Centaur in particular, because he's super tanky and you go Vanguard. You don't really do that on Slardar. We are also going Midas first item. I mentioned this in a Slardar guide I've done. 2 bracers, boots, and a tempo item, which I usually tend to go armlet. I also do Midas, and then into blink. Primarily, we want to be super active and we want to come online. I usually cut it at 20 minutes. From 15 to 20 minutes, we need to come online. No matter what, we just need to access ourselves there and just be helpful to our team. That's our primary goal. Moving up a little bit here, this is a typical thing I do as well, just to check. If Troll is there, we can mess with him. Getting the creep wave here and letting the tower take all this residual damage because there's a catapult, that's nice. Meanwhile, we're last hitting perfectly. And then we can scoop up the tower when they're done with it, as you can see. So super duper efficient. We get the tower. I don't waste, quote unquote, waste time hitting it. I get all the last hits and we then go and we last hit the tower. So we got everything. So we are well on our way to Midas now. This is a hard game, which is also why I chose it, because a lot of games where you are ahead are easy, right? And I am ahead, but everyone else but me and like Pugnana, sounds a bit nicer, are basically losing. Luna has nothing, Trian has nothing, and Tinker's also losing. So kind of like why I chose this replay is exactly because like showing what can you do when you're behind. A lot of people will win their lanes and then be thinking, oh no, my teammates are losing their lanes. This is really bad. The game's over. Which, I mean, it can happen, but you gotta try and make something happen. And yeah, this is it. So I said to be active at minimum 20 minutes. Here I'm porting way sooner than I'd like to. I do not like playing this aggressive this early because I have to, kind of, because look at their necro diving my carry. This is not ideal. But they have simply lost their lanes so much that I don't really have a choice. You can see how I am top net worth here. I'm well over Luna, and now Troll is well over Luna as well, which is really, really bad. So I basically have to do something. I could AFK farm, it's possible, but I'm trying to look for an opportunity to get them to lower their aggression a little bit. And sadly, this is not going to happen. But we are creating a bit of space. Of course, this is going to slow down our blink dagger timing, which is annoying. It is an investment you have to potentially take. So we are creating a little bit of space for what it's worth. Nothing too special. I do want to briefly talk about being efficient as you're farming. And I'm going to use Luna as a bit of a stepping stone here. If we look here quickly over at Luna, notice how, remember all the way back at the start of the game, I mentioned that when you play Dota, you want to be active, you want to leave the base quickly, you want to go to rune spots, you want to get an idea what's going on. Can we get a kill? Can we snatch runes? What can we do? Like, what can we do? Let's play the game. We've already seen what Luna's like in this game. And true to form, he has a Mask of Madness. He has 100% mana. He has 100% health. There is no good reason for him not to use Mask of Madness to farm faster here. He's not going to do it. This guy has left the keyboard and is playing automatic Dota, which is not a good idea. He's going to activate it here, but remember that a lot of that cooldown has already passed, so this is just inefficient. Now, I do boot tread, or like, sorry, power tread poorly in this game. Don't ask me why. I looked at the footage and I was like, that's very bad. But here, small thing. But it's worth mentioning when you play Centaur, when you play Slardar, when you play all of these heroes, again, remember to swap your boots. I do not know why I'm making that mistake in this game. Here, very, very small thing. It might seem insignificant, but it's going to speed up how much you farm. So notice how I am generating the Bash of the Cheap Charges up to 3. Now I could one-shot the red one now, but I do it on the yellow now. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then yellow again, because if we do the red one, we're going to miss out on that damage, because we will overkill a 20 health target. And yellow, and then red. It's a minor thing, I know. We're talking 2 or 3 hits at most. But stuff like that adds up. A lot of pros have been asked in the past, what segregates like a high-level immortal from a pro? And it is small stuff like this. It is doing these efficient plays because it's the seconds that end up mattering a lot as you play. So we do another port here. Again, this is not ideal. It is because we are being forced as an offlaner to try and help. Not a big fan of it. It is also pretty much not going to go anywhere because it's not. I don't have my blink dagger yet, so I don't have any way of getting in there. Now, bear in mind, as I said, you can't hear my calls in this game. I am begging my team in this game not to engage the enemy, but they do anyway. I am quite literally saying, please don't take a fight with them. Please wait until I have a blink dagger. Now, you can't see it in this game, but when I play offlane, I think one of the best things you can do is to queue up blink dagger, which we can't do here, and then I'll click it to let people know when you have it, because you will give people an idea of when you will have blink dagger. You will be coming online, you know what I mean? Because as soon as we get blink dagger, you'll see this game turn on a dime. One thing that's interesting is if we remember how my lane went. It went really, really good. I've had to sadly port very, very poorly around the map, which isn't ideal. I'm doing fine though. Troll is sadly 10 and Luna's level 7. So that's not ideal. I think we can all agree that Troll had a very bad lane, but he's 3 levels ahead of my carry. This is not good. And I'm well aware of it as we're playing this game. So I know I need to get that blink dagger fast. We are not going to win if I sit in AFK play. It's one of the worst things you can actually do as an offlaner in most games. Not every game. There are times where it's a good thing to do. But in this game, if I play slow and I don't play active, then they will overrun us. I have to get something done. I have to allow Luna back into this game one way or another. So again, you can see I've queued up the blink dagger now. I am alt-clicking it insanely much just to let people know. And again, we're defending, not my cup of tea yet, because we really shouldn't yet. Preferably, we would have blink dagger now and play active, but it is what it is. So we do look for the bear. And I want to defend this area because I do not want to give them a tier 2 if I can help it. Ideally, I also get Tinker to just come down and spam rockets. He's sadly not going to do that a whole lot, which is unfortunate. It would help us a lot. So this is really, really sad. It coincides really, really poorly. And the thing is, he just needs to not be here. He knows they're here, or he should know. I've proven it many times. He should just port here, stay in safety, let me get vision of them, and he should just be spamming rockets, basically. So I'm trying to hold the ground here against Londred. I do get the bear, which is important because now he has to resummon it. Now this is important because that's actually my blink dagger money. Now, I know I'm going to die here. There's no way I'm going to survive this. I know this is done and dusted. I'm going to die. The best thing I could have done is buy my blink dagger because we have money for it. Because then I won't lose any money when I die. So this is a mistake. Now, I will have the blink dagger when I respawn, so it is what it is, but I should have bought it, right? Now, here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. I have blink dagger. And I want to say this is like when the game goes into gear. As I said, we have been the only lane winning the game, but we are now significantly behind in kills and net worth. It's not good. Even as a top net value on our team, I am behind every other core. This is bad. We have to do something. So what do? Well, we have blink dagger, so we're going to start playing aggressive. I am basically saying, let's go. I have blink dagger. This is time. And I try to get with my supports in particular. They are usually the people that want to play aggressively the most. And this here is a very, very important tool for you as an offlaner, assuming people haven't been buying all the dusts. So get a hold of them as soon as you have blink dagger and just start making plays. It is one of the best ways back in the game, especially if we can get a very, very, very powerful target. Now, I don't really want Luna to join us because he's already far enough behind as he is. He doesn't have his ultimate, which is fine. Like, his build is a bit weird, but whatever. He also doesn't have Shard, which is a huge mistake, but people are still learning Luna. And I do see Londred, and I really, really want him because Londred is one of their most valuable cores. And Londred is mostly scary when he has his ultimate. If he doesn't have it, no problem. And see here, we're going to find him. We're going to pounce him, jump him, and kill him. And with Tinker there, that's very easy. So already there, that's amazing. That's a very, very important kill. Now we just have to keep doing that. So I'm queuing up a shard, and I'll talk about it more as I get it, because that's a Slardar thing that is worth mentioning. Now I run back again, and the reason why is, well, we want to Midas, but we also want to smoke more. And see, we catch Necro here, which is really, really good. Sadly, it's very, very hard for us to deal with him right now because he is as far ahead as he is. He does have heart. And we just want to create as much space as possible. I see another good jump there, getting a hold of these two. And that's 2. Now that's another beautiful core kill right there. And what I'm doing here is really, really scary and aggressive. As an offlaner, you just have to go for plays like this. When you don't have BKB, you are very likely to die, especially if you are not ahead in the game. Those are the terms of winning. If I want a shot at this, I have to do stuff like that. I cannot let the opponent slip away. when they are on our side, and if you see like the opportunity to potentially kill them, you have to take it. You can't sit and play from behind unless you have a very specific lineup. It is too risky. Same thing here. I could try and back off. There's a Lich ultimate. Not gonna do it. It's a kill. I don't care if I die. I want that kill. Absolutely. I am not worth a lot in this game already, even though I won. So again, guess what? So already here you can see that wasn't too long ago. It said it was 7 in their advantage. Now it's only 3, which is nothing compared to before. Now, this is actually one of the best changes in the game ever, if you ask me. I think it's amazing for pub play. And that is that you can kind of smoke yourself, and then you can go next to people and smoke them. So you're not as beholden to make people come to you and then smoke them, because you can just, especially if you're someone that's fast like Slardar, you can smoke somewhere and then you can tag up with your partner, which I will. I see Pugna here, and he's my partner in crime. Bam, there you go. And we're on it again. It's basically Pugna and I that's the pure driving force of this game at this point. We both have the pretty much the exact same score. Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. You see 4-3-2, 0-2-3. He hasn't really done a whole lot. And Trian not having that good game either. But Pugna and me are part of everything together. And we are kind of like right now the mold that's holding this game together and trying to prop it back up. And we're close. We're very close. So here we go. And this is really, 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 really sad. I don't see Lone Rit. This would have been an amazing kill, but I have no idea he's there. So it's super sad. If I had just moved a little bit more to the left, we would have gotten a really good kill. But alas, I don't see him. Also proves I'm not cheating, yeah? I do see Lich though, because Lich is farming way out of position. Now, I do have my shard, and this is important. It's not, it's hard to explain in this game because Troll does end up, there, but the new shard for Slardar, new, but you apply ultimate when you slam. You do so much damage, and you basically don't have to spam Corrosive Haze the same way anymore. You can often kill people before you need to reapply your ultimate. Plus, you can deal with BKB with it, because it goes through BKB now. You can see here, we're going to jump Lich, and he is going to die very fast. Bam, 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 bam. Just like that. He didn't have a chance. Now, if we rewind here, because that's actually pretty important, and I haven't been talking enough about it. Notice that I am at 2 Bash of the Deep. When you play Slardar, it's very important to prep your Bash of the Deep, either at 2 or 3, so you are pretty much guaranteed to bash as soon as you go in. A lot of the time, whenever you see me play aggressive, not so much this game, but like just in general, I spam a lot of Slardar. I will hit a creep 3 times before I smoke with someone, because I want to be guaranteed to land that stun on my next hit. Technically, you can also time it with your slam, with Slithering Crush, and you can have it at 2, like I said. You will see it here. And he barely has anything. He technically could have Sinner against me. It wouldn't have mattered. And now, we're getting very, very close to getting bad into the game. We're going to move here towards the Twin Gate, and yet again, we don't really see Lone Rit. It's really sad. And very big blunder by me, getting my courier killed. It happens. Mine was elsewhere. Now, this is a blunder by me in this, because I see an opportunity to fight them. And I go in here, because Luna's there too. And we do see Warlock here. He's a very easy kill. And you'll see the shard come into play here. Now, I haven't had my Bash of the Deep charges up this time, like I said I would. That is primarily because we made a mess up here with the courier. And then I had to rush through the Twin Gates to get this done. But we do kill Warlock exceedingly fast, because that's what we can do. And then I decide to fight Mr. Bear, which isn't going to work out well for me because, well, most of my team is incapable of helping here because they are under siege themselves. So this is a mistake. It happens. Not everything will go well. And now they are 7k ahead. Now, one of the interesting aspects in this game as well is that I am doing something a bit risky, and I do a lot of guides on this YouTube channel, and I talk about how to build heroes in a certain fashion. The reality is that Dota is pretty much never A, B, C, D. You can almost always change your build in one fashion or another, and you should almost always, depending on circumstance of course, change your build. In this case, I realized that Necro is someone that has to be dealt with. And this is risky because I normally would, usually I'd say I'd get either an Aghanim's or BKB, probably BKB in this game because if you look at their lineup. I'm opting to get a Nullifier as fast as I'm able. Why? Well, Necro's build, especially since Quinn and Somnus has showed it off in recent TI, has become hard Beauty, and Aghanims. People really don't like getting BKB on him. And that means you can, kind of like how not too many patches ago, well, I think it was last patch, people bopped Wind Ranger by rushing Nullifier. You can do the same thing with Necro. He will have no way of dealing with that. If he has a Yules, it gets denied. If he has a Force Staff, it gets denied. If he has anything, it gets denied. He can't use his own Ghost Shroud, which is massive. So we are in this again. Let's see, I will see Lich here. Again, look for kills. And this is scary. If I had a BKB, there's practically no way they could kill me. There's no way they could kill me. So this is scary. But as I said, we have to get back in the game. I cannot go an AFK farm. It will not go well for us if I do. Someone has to try and one-up their aggression a bit. Let's see here. I also marked them, so Tinker can hit them. You see Necro here. And here you're going to see what an Immortal Luna looks like. You can see he got haste. It was very obvious. You could hear it. You could see it. And Luna's going to press ultimate. I don't know why, because she's not even close and the guy's hasted. But there you go, Immortal. That's what you have to look forward to if you aren't Immortal yet. Now, what is interesting here is that we are going to have a fight. Now, here's the reality of things. I don't have a BKB yet. That's bad. And I can't have I couldn't have had a BKB. We don't really have enough money for it. And everyone is AFK farming, including me. And because everyone is AFK farming, because I'm with a Luna and a Tinker, those are two heroes a Slardar cannot outfarm. As in, they will take a lot of farm. Plus the enemy is ahead. It's just really good for us. But we're going to have a fight here. It's kind of what I want because it is on our turf. Now we have to be a little bit careful because they did get Roche. That's exceedingly bad. I'm hoping that they're going to step out of position. Because if we can defend this, we can turn this game around. And this is perfect. This is what you're looking for. If you're Axe, if you're Slardar, if you're Centaur, this is what you're looking for. At some point, usually, people are going to sit in a fashion where they overlap with one another. And that's perfect. Remember, we have shards. So if I land 3 people, technically 4 if you take the Spirit Bear, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are going to have Corrosive Haze on them. And bam. Sadly, I should have technically been in here and I would have landed even more. But these two are important. Let's see how much damage we have thanks to Tinker. Make sure he's attacked. And Troll decides to go in, which is a huge mistake. Necro's dead, and well, here you go. That's just Troll things. You kind of know what's going to happen here, even if he has Aegis. We do see Lich here. He's going to try and help his mate. It's not going to go. So Troll's dead here. And the thing is, I've seen Lich. Now this is important, because oftentimes, after people win a team fight, they will tend to go and farm. That's bad because these guys are ahead and they're dead for a long time. So we should push it. So you'll notice my first instinct, the moment I know Lich is there, is to just go right after him as fast as I'm able. And because if I attack him with my ult, which I do, then he will die. And he's going to use his ultimate. No biggie. Pretty much gets saved by my support, which is nice. But like I said, I want to play aggressive. And there you go. That is pretty much the majority of their team. And now, it's not quite 100% turned around yet, but pretty much. We are now in a good position to win this game. I also am very, very, very close to my Sacred Relic, which will give us our Nullifier. And Luna actually manages to snatch up a kill, which is surprising, because of Pugna, of course. He does have a DD. So that's good. That's something else you're looking for as well, obviously. Not that you can change that outcome per se. Given that I've been behind this entire game because Pugna and me were the only two winning our lane, it's very nice when... Because we've been consistently smoking around the entire map, right? Just like consistently just trying to create pressure. It's very nice when your team randomly picks up a very important kill and you had no say in it. Like I didn't instruct them. I didn't provide anything. They just did that on their own accord. That feels nice. I'm going to let her have that. Like I said, put it up to 3. That was intentional. That's why I'm leaving so she can have it. Bash of the Deep. You can tell what I want. I want to get kills. I want to play active. So we do see Warlock here. In a moment anyway. Because I keep missing these guys. That's really bad. Weirdly enough, he decides to engage Treant. This doesn't make any sense. I swear to God, this is immortal. This is absolutely immortal. I swear. But yeah, what can I say? People do weird decisions. He decides to Q my Treant, and I'm like, that's fine. That's going to kill him. And you shouldn't really always do Nullifier. As I said previously, this is purely done to deal with pretty much Necro. but you will see what effect it has on, you know, Warlock here. He'll absolutely destroy him. I just do so much damage, and he doesn't ult, which is very, very bad because it's not going to kill me, and it puts his ultimate on cooldown, which is really bad. He needs that very, very, very big time, and I'll just farm these. Now Lich is going to come in as well. Same thing. So now they blew 2 ultimates for Slardar that they cannot kill. And now, here they come again. Now here comes something really, really, really sad. And I noted it down in my notes. I'm looking at my notes here. This is the worst scenario that can happen in your games ever. This is super, super duper strategic, right? So I get what's happening here, okay? Tinker really wants his Ethereal Blade. I get it. He really wants his Ethereal Blade badly. Thing is, enemy is out of position, and we know it. And we know there's no troll here. We know there's no troll. That's perfect. Luna has TP. I'm here. Everything is ready and a go. Everything is ready and go for Tinker. We have everything, and they're out of position. We also have the luxury of being able to port. Now, technically, Troll could take the gate here. He's not gonna. Here's the issue here, right? So I'm going in with Pugna. I really want to do something here because these guys should be punished again. 2 of our cores are going to AFK farm. It's very, very, very sad. You see, Tinker's porting. It's not good. He is going to farm Ancient Camp right now, which is really, really sad. And I know for a fact that I am calling, let's go on him, let's go on him, let's go on him. It's because he wants his Ethereal Blade that badly that he will not join. Which is sad because if he was here now, they would already be dead. Because as you can see, I'm going to go in. Lundred's almost dead. I just need Tinker, who ports here, which is going to get killed when he could have ported here. And this is just super sad. So Trian is going to have a hard time, and I'm going to have to bail. And that's exceedingly sad because, as I said, Luna had TP, Tinker had TP, and both of them didn't want to fight. It was the perfect opportunity to set something up, but it happens. It's sad because we were ahead, but what did I say earlier after we won this team fight? The number one thing people love to do when either they're ahead or after they want to fight is to go AFK farm. They are not very keen on pushing the envelope. It is the number one thing, or one of the number one things you want to change about your playstyle, especially in this meta. It's also nighttime, which means we're faster. So I can get in even faster. And I am not even the safest hero. I'd say that's probably Tinker was his lineup now. Well, technically now Luna has BKB, but I'm willing to put my life on the line. I don't really care that much if I die, if we wipe all of them, because we just need to create pressure. Now, they are going to take a fight here. Now, I do spot Warlock up here, and this is something you also want to look for when you play position 3. You want to look for stray people. A lot of the time, people will go as 5. Obviously, at this late stage, you kind of have to. You see Necro is a bit out of position farming. It's what cores do. When people go out of position like this, and if you play something like Slardar, if you play something like Centaur, if you play something like Primal Beast, this is a prime opportunity for you to kill them. Now, you could say, well, Warlock is just a support. He's not just a support. He's a large part of their damage. Fatal Bonds plus Ultimate will severely mess us up. Now, I don't know he doesn't have Ultimate yet, of course, but even Fatal Bonds and Upheaval is really good. So if I can kill him, that's really good because they obviously want to do something. And if they decide to do it after he's dead, that's not good because they're down a player, even if all 4 of them fight. But I see Warlock, and as you can see, he's just going to get deleted. Now, you could say, you know, like he wants to board, yes, but he has to be careful. You have to remember, he doesn't know exactly where all my vision is. So when he goes in during nighttime, it's just really risky, you know? He has to expect, given like I'm the one that's playing so aggressive, he has to expect that to happen, yeah. Speaking of, same mistake as Warlock. Randomly out of position. It happens. Poor Pugna. He's been playing well this game. Now, I do buy Assange. The inherent idea behind this was actually to get Halberd. And then I realized later, Troll's not going to be as much of a problem as I thought. So we're just going to go for S&Y instead. Now, here's something good. And I actually do a huge misplay here. He actually finds Lundred, or rather, I mean, he finds Lundred, but it's more like Lundred finds him because he goes immediately on Tinker, which is bad. I do a massive misstep here. I don't know why I did this. I Slithering Crush. This wasn't intentional. This is a pure Fat Finger, which almost kills Tinker, which is bad. But he finds him regardless. That's good. And we just go on Lundred. Again, completely solo Lundred. It doesn't make any sense. He isn't with his team, and then he gets picked off by us. He's got to be careful making those plays. And this is pretty much they got to be very, very careful because now there's a big team fight that's going to break out. And here's the thing as an offlaner. Remember when I talked about pushing advantages and, playing aggressive and pushing the envelope when you're ahead? Lone Druid's dead. This is a 4v5. I mean, it's a 4v4 because Luna's not going to help us because he doesn't care, right? But, okay, it's a 4v4. It could have been a 5v4 in their advantage, but now it's a 4v4, okay? Lone Druid's dead. Troll goes in knowing this, and I know that as well as a core. So he is knowingly, I would assume, entering a team fight, even though he is down a Lone Druid, which is one of his cores. So that's really bad for him. This is not what he wants to do. Now I do see him here, but I also see their backline, and I want to jump their backline really badly, even if it costs me my Treant, because I cannot be guaranteed to kill Troll because he has ultimate. He also has a lot of stuff here, but I can kill Warlock, and if I kill Warlock, then they won't have Chaotic Offering. That's pretty much their main entry, really. So that's what we go for. So we kill Warlock, finish him off quickly. We see Lich, as I said, we just push it. Gotta get him. Kill this boy. He tries to do his combo again, doesn't work this time. And now, he didn't even kill Treant. Troll has used BKB, and he's completely out of position. All because he decided to take a random fight. His supports kind of felt beholden to help him. And again, Necro isn't even there. Necro's doing exactly the same mistake as Luna. So, now, completely dead in the water. Can you guess what's gonna happen? Again. And technically Luna's here, but yeah, tail end of the fight. And that's it. The game is practically over because, as you can see, at this stage, this is when the core gets really, really angry. Which is funny because this was his mistake, pretty much. He decided to engage us after Lone Druid was out of position. That's not smart. It didn't help that his position 2 was also AFK farming. So I see Tinker doing this. I actually remember telling Tinker, please be careful, dude. Like, he is scary. He's just fooling around with him. But the good part is he's actually, wasting his time, which is good because, as you can see, Rocket Man is over here, and I do have a nullifier. So finally, because we haven't really killed Necro too much with that yet, I see my opportunity to get him. Because I figure there's absolutely no way Necro isn't just going to keep farming now, right? Surely. I do find him here. I can see him, luckily. And here comes the really good aspect of that shard into play. I don't have to spend time ulting him. He is already hit with Corrosive Haze. It doesn't work. And yet again, Warlock just solo ults me. I'm not sure why. It's not going to work. I can just kill the golems really quickly because Slardar is very, very strong. So yeah, they just lost 2 cores. My Tinker also died. They just lost 2 cores. I'm on fire. Luna's not dead. And we're now ahead by 5k. Even though we were super far behind early. Especially on Luna. Now, as I said earlier, keep up the aggression. Do not AFK farm. I could AFK farm in Aghanims now. It's not ideal. What we want to do is just keep going. You can see the game is almost over. Keep going. Play aggressive. Drive it home. Win this damn game. Lone Druid, no problem. Kill him. Done. Bit of a thing here, which is worth mentioning with Slardar as well. A bit of a mistake here because it's actually glyphed. You have to remember you can actually do Puddle now. You can Slithering Crush, and that will actually give you more damage. So whenever you're pushing and you don't need to stun people with it, remember to Puddle before you hit, because you will do significantly more building damage like that. Let's see here. They're fooling around with him. And you can see, like, this is typical we've lost the game kind of Dota here. They've given up. There's no teamwork anymore. Lone Druid's here. It doesn't make any sense they're randomly just here. Like, they're just all over the place. This is, by all accounts, just completely over. And now Tinker's at that point where he can actually like solo kill people. Even Luna's having a good time in killing people now. I don't even actually have to be there anymore, which is cool. So that's pretty much it. Last thing to mention here is, this is I call it a Kyubashi thing. I bought Desolator. Now this is something I very, very frequently do. You don't really have to do it. It's just something I do. I very commonly buy Deso or Vladimir's even. I buy like items. If I see my opportunity to basically end the game, sometimes even earlier, if I see my opportunity to end the game, I pretty much buy a tempo item just to end the game. Again, Vladimir's, for an example, because it gives a bunch of damage to you and like lifesteal to you and your entire team. Desolator for the same reasons, just so we push faster. Like, I don't need Aghanims anymore. I just need Deso to end the game, There's no reason to get an item if I can't make any use out of it, if I can just end the game instead, yeah? It's a small thing, but you can see it's coming in here, and I'm prepping for it. It's a very small thing. But why not? Why not end the game faster, So that's pretty much it. There you go. That's what an Immortal game kind of looks like. Right there. That's what it looks like. We were significantly behind, by a lot as well. Luna almost had nothing. She was 3 levels behind the troll. Tinker wasn't having a very good time. And I pretty much had to practically suicide myself a few times in order to create a bit of space. But as soon as we got Blink Dagger at, when was that, like 17, 18? We just went ham. And that's pretty much the thing. So when you play offlane, what you're looking for is play aggressive on lane, try and win the lane to the best of your abilities, and then look for your first timing. And the first timing, like the first big timing for you anyway, is on most meta offlane heroes that buy Blink Dagger is Blink Dagger. You want to get 1 stat item or 2 stat items, you know, usually maybe a brazier and a wand. I get double brazier on Slardar. I feel like it just works perfectly for him. Then you want to get a tempo item, which is Midas, Armlet, Echo, MOM. You know, you just need 1 item to just, you know, have like that juicy little bit of extra stuff on your hero. And then you need to get Blink Dagger. And then you just need to go. And you need to not stop. That is the premier way to win as an offlaner in this meta, if you ask me. You can play Death Push. You can play greedy offlane like Wraith King. I've also done a guide on Wraith King. You can play Wraith King and get early Radiance. Even if you do that on Wraith King, you still want to get a Blink Dagger by roughly minute 20. It's just that Radiance is a more greedy item compared to, you know, a Armlet or an MOM because it's purely more expensive. The playstyle really doesn't change, just usually like the speed at which you acquire these items. So get smokes, get blink, and get to work. That really is one of the best things you can do. Do not fall into this trap of playing offlaners and AFK farming. Do not do it. It's not going to go well for your MMR. People aren't going to like you, and you might get a wrong idea of how to play offlane. I know you're probably, if you're a safe laner, if you're a support, if you're a mid laner, I know you probably see a lot of people picking CK or picking Wraith King and the AFK farm way too much from offlane. Also Spirit Breakers that do nothing but charge creeps and never help in fights. I know it sucks. It's not the way to play. It's not. You can do so much in this meta as an offlaner. As soon as you reach your timing, you can practically dictate the flow of the game if you know what you're doing. You can't win every game from it, and there is a time and a place for farming, of course, but never fall into this trap of AFK farming if you can help it. You need to get stuff done. When you play Slardar, when you play Centaur, when you play Beast, when you play all these heroes, you can get your blink, you can get stuff started, usually with smokes, try and get to play around your team, then you can get Roche and you can get towers. At that point, because we're playing the meta we're playing and pushing high ground can be very, very difficult, that's maybe the time we can kind of take the pedal off the metal a little bit and start farming a bit more. Not that it's ideal, but again, pushing high ground is really difficult. But if the enemy can breathe as much as you can, we've done something wrong. Especially if the enemy is head, because we just tend to lose the game. That's pretty much it. That's how I recommend playing offlane, and that is how I recommend playing Slardar. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you like this sort of content. It's definitely a lot longer than normal, a little bit more rambly, but I will have tried to cut in it, of course. That's it, yeah. If you want to see me do live replays where I commentate as I play, you can head over to my Twitch TV at FabKyobashi. That's where I stream every normal day. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Go out there, play some offlane, and win some MMR. It's a very, very powerful role. You just gotta get the hang of it.